really all over the world. But right now, we are having protests by German farmers. So this is a tweet from the Vigilant Fox. Thousands of German farmers have just paralyzed the streets of Berlin in a week-long nationwide protest against government cuts to agriculture. Now, notice this is going on for a week. Not hearing about it on ABC.
Wait,
not hearing about it on CNN.
Are they spraying manure also, I thought, in Germany, just like they were in Denmark?
Not that I've read, but
I saw a video of it.
Yeah,
I was going to say, if they make their leaders come hard enough with that, they might get their way.
Yeah, that was probably a kink video. You know those people. Scheiße. The government's policies are driving us into the ground, and we're not going to take it lying down, farmers say. The president of the German Farmers Association demands all tax hikes to be reversed. So this is, you can see, that's the Brandenburg Gate there. Sharp-eyed viewers from Brooklyn will recognize that they ripped that off right by Prospect Park. What's the name of that circle, Keaton?
By Prospect Park?
Yeah,
I thought that was by the Manhattan Bridge.
No. It's by Prospect Park there, by the Brooklyn Library. All right.
I don't know. I didn't read my New York City Blue book in preparation for this. I didn't think we'd come up.
All right, so you can see how long that line extends. Look at that.
Is Germany not mad about the heat being off because of the no natural gas?
You know, I would expect to hear more about that. I thought we would hear more about that. But who knows? Because nobody's even hearing about this.
Yeah, right.
Right? I mean, who knows? That's a more subtle story. This, at least, is going to get up on Twitter.
Yeah, right.
So there's only so much you can suppress it. So I'm going to warn you, The Guardian, in its wisdom, really, really is very concerned about the right-wing extremists involved.
Oh, they were co-opting?
Yeah, they're co-opting the right-wing extremists. German farmers block roads with tractors in subsidies protest. Partial U-turn by Berlin fails to avert week-long nationwide action that government warns could be co-opted by those pesky right-wing extremists.
Oh, you know what? Then never mind. Make the taxes higher. Sorry, I didn't know that they could be co-opted.
If there's one kind of right-wing extremist we don't want, it's German right-wing extremists.
Yeah.
German farmers blocked city centers, highways, and motorway slip roads with tractors at the start of a week-long nationwide protest over planned cuts to agricultural sector subsidies that the government warned could be co-opted by right-wing extremists. It's unbelievable, man.
Right-wingers are always going on.
You put people in a position where they're desperate and terrified of losing their livelihood.
Yeah.
And it's right-wing extremists. Oh, maybe not the farmers, but right-wing extremists might get involved.
Well, that's part of their thing.
They're trying to thread. They're trying to thread the needle. They're trying to show that they're not unsympathetic to the farmers, but at the same time, it's extremely condescending because they're saying the farmers are too stupid to just watch out for their interests and not be co-opted by right-wing extremists.
Don't you know the platform of classic German extremists, which is a white ethno state and no cuts to agricultural subsidy tax.
That's that's what they're known for. They like corn, I've heard.
Well, you know what they say at the World Economic Forum? They say you will grow nothing and be happy. So they should be able to see this coming.
That's right. Misha made a video about that. That was very good. We are exercising our basic right to inform society and the political class that Germany needs a competitive agricultural sector. The president of the German Farmers Association, Joachim Ruckwied, told Stern magazine on Monday. Well, how else are they going to get people to eat bugs? That's the only way to ensure the supply of high-quality homegrown food, Ruckwied said, adding that the protests, which brought the centers of cities including Berlin, Hamburg, Cologne, and Bremen to a near standstill, could last all week. Slow-moving tractor convoys and full-scale blockades hit traffic around the country before dawn, with authorities in the rural northern state of Mecklenburg-Western Pomerania announcing that all Autobahn on- and off-ramps were blocked. In several regions, farmers brandishing signs such as "No Farmer, No Future" and "Your policies are a declaration of war against farmers" were joined by hauliers protesting at a hefty increase in road tolls for heavy goods vehicles. The Vice Chancellor, Robert Habeck, whose return from holiday last week was disrupted by farmers trying to storm the ferry he was on, they ain't fucking around, warned in a video that the farmers' right to protest could be exploited by fringe groups. You see,
How so?
You see, America still leads the world. You know, we start with the safetyism. They go after the safetyism.
How could they exploit it, though? Honestly, how would they exploit that if the farm subsidies continue?
Well,
like
hey, maybe just give them what they want, and then you don't have to worry about that. Calls are circulating with coup fantasies. Extremist groups are forming, and ethnic nationalist symbols are being openly displayed, Habeck said. Stefan Kramer, head of the Domestic Intelligence Agency in Thuringia, also warned of far-right infiltration. I'm sensing a theme here.
What symbols? Pretzels?
In the past...
Yeah, what is the white nationalist symbol in Germany now? Because it can't be a swastika.
You can't use a swastika.
No.
A soccer
so what
ball,
is it now?
Some techno-goth goggles?
In the... Dieter. In the past, extremist groups have constantly and consistently tried to infiltrate every form of legitimate civil protest, he told the Handelsblatt Business Daily, pointing to the 2015 migration crisis and the COVID-19 pandemic as examples. Hang on. So you're suggesting that people who felt a little overwhelmed by millions of people coming into their country and people who disapproved of being locked down, and we're on the Rumble side now, right? And forced to take a vaccine. So how is that a right-wing position? See, this is what they do. Anything they want to discredit, they just call it right-wing. It's unsafe.
If you're going to do that, you're going to have to make it that there cannot be two wings. I know they're spoiling us with two fake wings to belong to, but you might want to just eliminate one if it's this much of a problem.
Well, they did this to the yellow vests too. They said that was right
they always
because
right.
They were anti-environmentalists. They didn't want to pay taxes. You know, the Luddites, blah blah blah. They did that. That was what 2018 was that. So yeah, every couple of years, yeah. This is the thing that they obviously. I mean, this is page 1 of the book. They
probably
just dropped this out.
as well. Probably
right. I mean, Biden just did it in his speech. Yeah. They sound just like Nazis. I mean, you're the one who did a speech on the set of the Wall concert. Yeah. all you needed was the crossed hammers back there.
Right.
More than 2,000 tractors were registered for each inner city demonstration, with farmers gathering in Berlin from late on Sunday evening at the Brandenburg Gate in the heart of the government district, already the scene of a large protest in December. The protest went ahead despite a partial government U-turn last week. A tax discount for agricultural vehicles would be retained, Berlin promised, while a diesel subsidy would be phased out over 3 years rather than being axed immediately. So this is police scrambling to regain control in Germany as they appear to have been completely caught off guard by massive protests by farmers and now truckers who have joined them. Reminiscent of the Freedom Convoy in Canada, will they resort to more authoritarian tactics and attack the protesters with violent suppression? The globalists are desperate to stop this spreading internationally. Yeah, I'd say so.
Why'd you let them blow up that pipeline and make their gas 3 times more than it should be? Their natural gas. I think people ain't going to go.
I'm sure that's not helping. So here, German farmers have arrived for the largest protest in history against their government, chanting, "We are fed up." I mean, yeah, I guess you can't call Nuremberg a protest. The media doesn't want you seeing this, so share it everywhere. So you heard them. Share it.
I mean, any protesting in German sounds like it might be far right.
Listen. Honestly, I've said this before.
Yeah.
I feel terrible about it, and it's definitely because of movies. You know, you see like Cabaret and everything. If you get like young German men laughing conspiratorially together and making, I'm sure they're making, you think Nazis. Like if they're together, like, oh, so what you want?
Yeah.
You know, you're like,
In America, for sure.
total Nazis, right?
Every time in the crowd, there's Germans since I've been doing comedy. And let me tell you what they love if you immediately bring up the Nazis. Like
That's
they
their
never
favorite
get tired
thing.
of hearing it.
Yeah.
I mean, Germany has zero, what do you call it? Like national pride. I'm not saying they should, but they have like, they're all about soccer and like my roommates were Austrian in New York when I lived in Harlem. They all want to go to Harlem and see jazz.
Right, sure.
It's like, it's really just.
No, you know, the first time I backpacked around Europe, I was a teenager. So I was staying in youth hostels. And I felt so bad for the German kids. I don't know if this is still the case. But, you know, these youth hostels, part of the whole thing is kids from all over the world meeting each other. So you have Japanese kids there and Italian kids. And if there were German kids at that table, everyone's like, oh, what's it like in your country? What's it like in your country? Oh, and everybody's talking. And sooner or later, somebody'd say, how do you feel about the Nazis? To the German kids, and they would turn bright red.
Wow.
I would always feel so bad for them
The Japanese
they had to answer for this. Like, what the fuck do these kids
We don't make the Japanese answer for nothing.
Yeah, the Italians and the Japanese didn't have to answer for anything.
You know, you're right. They never did lay that on the Japanese kids.
You know, Japan invented the meth that Germany
The Italian
used.
or the
kids
Italians. No, or the Italians. Yeah, it was only the Germans they would lay
It's
that
actually
on.
wild.
Especially the British. Especially the British.
I
They would
know.
go right
I've
after
never
those
heard
German
an Italian person say they were sorry for anything, though. So it's probably a waste of time. You can't guilt an Italian person.
Schools-
Italian person can run you over with a
schools-
car. Hey, you shouldn't have been there. What are you doing there?
You're talking about Italian Americans.
Driving there.
That's a whole different thing. No, you're a Sopranos fan. You don't remember the episode of The Sopranos where Paulie asked, they're in
Noodles
Italy,
and gravy?
and he asked for noodles and gravy,
Yeah.
and the translation of the Italians is these classless pieces of shit are even worse than the Germans.
Can I just get some noodles and gravy?
All right, I think that is a segment. Let's go to Misha for Super Chats.
All right.
Hey, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there for more AM Joy and the rest of MSNBC. And click on any of the videos right here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. And you can get more videos from MSNBC for free every day with our newsletters. Just visit